Hey everybody, welcome to theREP. Thank you for joining us today. Our show is all about getting to know businesses in our local community. We have with us again Dr. Elizabeth Crumbaugh of Live Well Chiropractic in St. Charles, Missouri. Dr. Crumbaugh holds a bachelor's degree in zoology with an emphasis on chiropractic from Northwest Missouri State University and a doctor of chiropractic from Logan University. Dr. Crumbaugh, thank you for being part of theREP.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, excuse me. We've got a great topic today, folks. It's summertime, and we're going to talk about not taking a vacation from your health.
Absolutely.
I know I've done that before.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people have at one point in time in their lives, haven't they?
Absolutely. People don't realize that taking a vacation from your health can actually cause some problems down the road. So I think all of us have done that at some point or another.
We all know the summertime is vacations and fun, but we can't forget about our health, correct?
Correct. Because we all know if you do forget about your health, like I said, it can actually cause some problems.
You might not be able to take that vacation.
Correct. Actually, we have had that happen several times in our office. Of somebody thought, oh, well, I'll just, take a little bit of a break, and then they come in because they're saying, I have vacation next week, and I don't feel so good. I need you to get me feeling better. We don't want that to happen.
So let's talk about some negatives that we can see in taking a vacation from your health, or even more importantly, from your spine.
Yeah, so absolutely. So a little bit that I just touched on, what many people don't realize is if you're putting all this effort into your health, whether it be most people think of like going to the gym or like weight management, but especially your spine, because you can see how you look in the mirror, but you can't see how your spine looks. So you put this time and energy into correcting your spinal health and your nervous system and getting things the way that they're supposed to be. If you take a vacation from that, you take a break from that, not only is it going to start to go back to where it began, it can actually get a lot worse than when it started. A lot of what we see in the office is we see a lot of degenerative joint disease. Degenerative disc disease is what it's called. And it's called that because it's a progressive condition that doesn't get better on its own.
Right.
And so if you have this degenerative joint disease or this degenerative disc disease and you take a break, it's a guarantee. I can't say when. I can't say if it'll be 6 days from now, 6 years from now, 6 months from now, but it's a guarantee that you will go back to where you started and you will continue to get worse than when you started. Wow. Because it is a progressive condition. So
you can regress. So most people think they come and they get that one adjustment and they're like, I'm good.
Absolutely, absolutely. So many times that's what we hear. They think, oh, well, if I just get one adjustment, then it'll be a lot better. But what most people don't realize is, say you had, so take myself for example, I had several accidents when I was younger. So say I've been having this condition working its way through my life for say like 10 years. Well, if I get one adjustment, is it going to correct a 10-year problem? No. I actually have an example of someone who came and got treatment and then did take a vacation.
Oh, let's take a look at those.
All right. So this first picture, so she was a 47-year-old individual. She worked on concrete all the time, and she had said that she'd had some intermittent back pain from that, but recently it had gotten a lot worse. So when we took her x-rays to see what was going on, so we didn't guess with her health, we found that she had a herniated disc down low in her low back. And we can see, so that X is supposed to be on that center line. And we can see it's actually 21 millimeters off, which in body terms is huge amount to be off.
So this X right in the middle of the page, you see that black line straight down there. That X is supposed to be right on that black line.
Absolutely.
And that's where your spine should be.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
We can also see over down at the bottom, there's 2 lines, and those are seeing if the hip area is level. And we can actually see that on that right side that it is 3 millimeters low. So not only is her spine shifting over to the right 21 millimeters, but it's causing that hip area down at the bottom to also shift down 3 millimeters.
Wow.
what that looked like for her is she was having shooting pain going all the way into her feet. She was starting to have trouble even bending to get her groceries in and out of her car. So that's the condition she came to us in. After about a month, we started to see some progress, and we can see in this next picture that that X that's in the middle of the page again, it's much closer to that straight up and down black line. It's about 10 millimeters off now, which is still a ton, but it's significantly better than the 21 millimeters that we started with. And that was only after about a month of care. So we were really excited to see where she was gonna go. So then this next picture is after about 4 months of care. And we can see that X is significantly closer to that straight up and down line. It's only about 4 millimeters off now. And we can actually see down at the bottom of the page that those hip areas are actually even and level now. So not only did we take that spine that had been shifted 21 millimeters off to the right, and we shifted it more towards the center to where it's only 4 millimeters off. So that means we increased her spinal health by 19 millimeters, which is a ton.
That's amazing.
We also raised that hip area up 3 millimeters, which is phenomenal. At that point, she was feeling fantastic. She didn't have any pain. She felt like she could do whatever she wanted to do. And she decided to discontinue her care at that time. So then about 8 months later, she came back, and that's this next picture. And when she came back, she was in really rough shape. She was hurting again. She had that shooting pain again, and she was not able to do what she wanted to do anymore. And we can see that that herniated disc down at the bottom returned because she did not continue with her maintenance care. She did not continue with those spinal checkups, making sure that things were staying the way they were supposed to be. And we can actually see down low that that hip area returned to its 3 millimeters off. And that X in the middle of the page is off 19 millimeters again. We started 21 millimeters off.
Right.
It took 4 months to get her down to 4 millimeters. And within 8 months, she was back to the 19 millimeters off. And so we had to start this whole process over again because she didn't keep up with those spinal checkups. And that is something that most people don't realize, that you have to keep up with it. But most people have actually probably seen someone with braces before.
Sure.
And so you've probably all seen someone who had pretty rough teeth, not straight, not the prettiest smile, who had to go through an intensive treatment with orthodontics and get braces, correct? Well, when those braces come off and that smile looks beautiful, what are they always told? They have to wear a retainer. They have to have a retainer because if they don't wear their retainer, then the teeth will go back. And your spine is the exact same way. If you do not have your spinal checks throughout the year, the month, the week, the whatever you need for your particular body, which only your doctor can really make that determination with you, then it's going to go back and it's going to get worse.
So we're right back to here we are. I mean, and you know, it's terrible. That's what we're talking about, taking that vacation from your spine. So if we're doing this, do you have some tips for the folks, if you know, through this summer to keep their spine healthy through an active summer?
So my absolute number one tip that I give all my patients is make sure that you keep going to your appointments and your spinal checkups at your chiropractor. Because, again, like I said, you can look in the mirror and you can see, am I building muscle, am I losing weight, that kind of thing. But unless you have x-ray vision, and if you do, please come talk to me. Unless you have x-ray vision, you cannot see what's going on with your spinal health. And you cannot go just based upon how you feel. Because when you start having pain, that's your body saying, it's too far gone, get me help now. And we want to make sure that you don't get to that point.
And we all know everybody's active in the summer. It's the summertime, right?
Absolutely.
But you know, whatever you need to do in that time frame to keep that, to maintain it, because bless her heart, I feel bad just looking at that, that happened. That's crazy. So we're sitting here and we're showing you proof that you can't take that vacation like that. So we got one other thing we want to talk about. There's so many conditions that chiropractic can help manage. And what are some things you do to educate your patients and potential patients?
So we have a variety of events throughout the year. Sometimes we'll host talks for our existing patients. Sometimes we'll host events for new patients, potential patients. But something that I do every single visit is I try and educate my patients every single visit about their condition that they have, as well as things that they might not know chiropractic can help with. Such as if someone has headaches, but they've never had a sinus problem, I might tell them, well, I'm very glad that you've never had a sinus problem, but did you know that this same area that in you is causing headaches could cause someone else a sinus problem? And it's just little things like that to show that chiropractic can help with a wide variety of conditions, because you never know who you're going to come across that could benefit from that information.
There you go. One of the things we're focusing on this month, folks, is fibromyalgia. And if you've been to Dr. Crumbaugh's website, you see that category right on her front page of her website. And if the audience is not familiar with fibromyalgia, I have to slow myself down to even say it. Could you talk a little bit about this condition?
Absolutely. So fibromyalgia is what's considered a chronic widespread pain condition. They're still doing a lot of research into it to figure out exactly what causes it, because the exact cause is truly unknown. The working theory at this point in time is that there's nerve irritation that is causing widespread pain throughout the body.
But they really still don't know why that's happening.
Correct. From the chiropractic viewpoint, and from what our understanding is, when those bones get out of alignment, we know it causes subluxation. We know the 5 factors of those subluxation are tenderness, heat, swelling, muscle spasm or tightness, and fixation. So we know that if a bone isn't moving properly and the muscles around it are super, super tight, and there's inflammation with that heat and that swelling going on, that it can start to irritate the nerve. If you have that going on at multiple levels, then it makes sense that it could be irritating multiple nerves going throughout the body, going to a lot of places. What this does is it works like on it with a threshold. So most people say our pain threshold is here, and most of us say we cycle down here, and occasionally we'll bump up and past that pain threshold. But usually we're just cycling down here. Well, someone who has all of that irritation and many different levels of subluxation happening, they might be cycling more like up here. And so then they're much easier to pass over that pain threshold and feel that widespread pain throughout their body.
And constant.
Constant,
almost, right?
Yes. It could be set off by the smallest of things. They could sit in their chair wrong for 5 minutes, and it could set off a whole, week-long, potentially, pain process.
Understanding a little more about fibromyalgia, how can chiropractic be a benefit with this condition?
Well, as I said, with the chiropractic understanding of it, it's directly related to that subluxation, and chiropractors are experts in reducing and eliminating that subluxation. So if that truly is the cause of what's going on with somebody's fibromyalgia, then what we can do is we can adjust the spine, reduce that subluxation, reduce that inflammation, that muscle tightness, that fixation, heat, swelling, all of those factors. And so then instead of them being up here, they start to drop down to here. And then as they maintain that spine, that spinal alignment, and they keep going to their adjustments, sometimes we can even drop it lower to where they're at a regular threshold comparatively that other patients are who don't have fibromyalgia. And this can make all the world in somebody's life.
Well, we talk about adjusting your spine, not your life. So how much can this help a person with fibromyalgia not have to adjust their life?
Oh, it can make the difference between actually having a life and not. I've actually seen many people with fibromyalgia, and one person in particular stands out to me because when she first started coming to see me, she really couldn't do much of anything. She even had trouble going in grocery shopping because potentially bending down to get something off of one of the lower shelves in the grocery store was going to send her into this large flare-up. And she used to love to travel, and if she can't go to the grocery store, she can't travel.
No.
After about a month of care, we had started to see some big improvements. She was able to go to the grocery store, go out with friends, that kind of thing. But she really wanted to be more active because she hadn't been able to for years. And after probably about 3 to 4 months of care, she was able to go and be a part of water aerobics like 3 or 4 times a week. And she was able to go out with her friends, and she would still occasionally have a flare-up every once in a blue moon. But before, she couldn't leave her house to do basically anything, whereas now she's traveling with friends and going to water aerobics and doing whatever she wanted to. And then if there was a flare-up, we just took care of it in a short amount of time. And it made all the world of a difference to her.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So, Dr. Liz, you've got a special offer going on right now in your practice for new patients. You want to share with the folks a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So our summer special right now is that for your first visit, which includes a consultation, examination, and x-rays if needed, it's up to 75% off if you mention this talk here or if you mention seeing the ad online. So it's a phenomenal savings for people. It's a great way to keep some of that money in your pocket so you can go out and enjoy your vacation while you don't have to take a vacation from your health.
There you go. I love that. That's awesome. Hey, Dr. Crumbaugh, as always, it's a pleasure, and thank you for joining us again this month on The Rep.
Absolutely.
Remember, folks, hit that subscribe button down below there. Click on the bell to receive alerts for the next episode of The Rep with Dr. Crumbaugh. We've got her coming here every month talking about great topics like this. Hopefully it's helping, and, you go see her. She'll be happy to talk to you. Got a great consultation, and 75% off, folks. Don't wait. Follow Dr. Crumbaugh on Facebook at Livewell St. Charles, and that is spelled out SAINT. So remember that, and check out her website at www.livewellstcharles.com to read about chiropractic care, including Dr. Crumbaugh's blog, Love Your Spine. Till next time, remember to
love your spine.
Have a great day, folks.